we have about 70 new seekers who are visiting our ashram for the first time. If they have any question, I would like to take 2 questions and conclude this morning session.
My name is Radhika. Namaste. Cleaning చేసుకుంటున్నాం every day. కానీ cleaning ఎలా పూర్తి అవుతుంది?
I'm doing my cleaning every day. How do I know that my cleaning is complete?
This question comes quite often. In the beginning, I too had this question. When do I conclude that my cleaning is complete? Then my indicator was very simple, that whenever I took a sitting from a preceptor and how I felt at the end of the sitting, that was my indicator. So individually when I sit on my own, I should at least have similar feeling arising in my heart that yes, it is similar to a kind of sitting I had with my preceptor. And if you cannot feel all these things still, then put a clock and just close your eyes, do the thorough cleaning of yourself for minimum 25 to 30 minutes. Keep on doing this, day after day. Then one day you'll realize, yes, where you are lacking. And once you iron out all those defects, then you'll master this art of doing cleaning. Some new indications are given by Babuji very recently to me on further improvising the cleaning. During Lalaji's Maharaj's lifetime, the practice that we do every evening was not there. It is the invention. Cleaning is thoroughly, purely an invention of Pujya Babuji Maharaj, which you can all read in the autobiography, how Sahaj Marg has evolved. And it continues to evolve. Point C, point D, and many other points which are yet to be exposed to the world. They do come as revelations too. There is a cyclostyle version of Babuji's research which he had shared during his lifetime, sometime in 1958, and another booklet was released in 1969 or 70. It was shared with full preceptors of those days. There he had mentioned something about Dayal Sakti and Kala Sakti, the reference of which is already there in autobiography, in Whispers from 1945 to 1954. There is a mention of Kala Sakti. Lalaji Maharaj tells Babuji that our system, Sahaj Marg system, follows the trend of Dayal Sakti. But I also give you a training in Kala Sakti. Based on the method of Kala Sakti, Pujya Babuji Maharaj invented the cleaning method. What do we do in cleaning? We sit comfortably with an idea that through this process I can become purer and simpler. So have this goal in mind. Why am I sitting? What is the purpose of my cleaning? That I want to become pure and simple so that my body can become temple of God. What do I do to achieve this? Make a sankalp that all those complexities which are clouding my simplicity and impurities which is spoiling my purity are getting removed. So we make this sankalpa that complexities and impurities are going away. Settle down with this idea. Having settled down, you think how they are going away. That they are going away in the form of smoke or vapor. From where? From the backside. The entire back, till the tailbone. This is our usual method, and towards the end of this 4-5 minutes before this cleaning, we make another sankalpa that now I am purer and simpler. The transmission is descending from above, is entering my system. It is helping me to complete my cleaning. It is also filling me up with the transmission. Now I have become pure like temple of God. With this sankalpa we get up. New revelation now that I would like to share with you is this. And if you like to all experience this, sit comfortably, close your eyes again. I'll do this only for a minute or two and try this in the evening. We are not changing the method. Cleaning remains the same. The entire process remains the same. In the beginning we add one step. Okay, this is the step you add in the beginning. Focus on your pelvic area, hip area. The entire skeletal structure of your back, the entire vertebra and skull bones and your arms, the bones inside. Think that the liquid, golden color liquid is flowing through this hip area. To the very core of your bones. The entire back is also now freely flowing with this golden colored fluid inside, especially the bones, the vertebra. Revisit your hip. And now start your cleaning the way we do. That's all. Did you find any difference? Raise your hands if you did find the difference. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm happy that you have raised this question, so I had the opportunity of sharing this. Okay. Okay.
Namaste, Master. I am Mohan from Hyderabad. I have two questions. And while I am learning all the books from Babuji written, I came to know that there are 58 chakras points he was activated or cleaned for one Abhyasi. And everybody knows, most of the Abhyasis knows that there are 13 major points and A, B, C, D, 4 sub-points. And total how many points are there? Somebody says 80 plus, some says then 108. And little confused. And this is the first question. And the second one, as a Abhyasis, maybe masters may not curious about this, they may not relevant, means it is not relevant to the masters, but as a Abhyasi we are curious about our progress. How can we know that? Thanks.
Well, I'll start with your second question. You say that may not be relevant to master. I think our masters are more worried about our progress than ourselves. For me, measuring yardsticks are so many, how to measure our progress. Spiritually speaking, we measure how we move from one chakra to another chakra, one region to another region. But this is not a perfect indicator. I find the main indicator is our melting hearts. If love is developing in our heart every single day, and you find yourself, yes, these negative things have gone away from me. And when your wife starts praising you, think you are progressing. I am not joking. She can certify better than a guru. About chakras, Babuji Maharaj says there are infinite chakras in our system. Every cell can work as a chakra. You must have seen how Babuji Maharaj used to sit in his chairs. He would tangle up his legs and start like this, and like that. And that was his comfortable posture. And if you noticed, his toes were straight and pointed. Not physically, but pointed towards outward. Even when he was alone, he would just sit like that and keep transmitting. Every pore of his body was transmitting, and especially his feet. They were constantly transmitting. We were advised not to touch his feet, because then what happens? It's like a car that is going at 150 or 180 miles per hour, and suddenly you have to make a brake. The transmission is flowing, like, gushing out from your system, and suddenly, Abhyasi just jumps on your feet. It used to give shocks to Babuji Maharaj. He has to pull back himself and control himself. It's very difficult. So to answer this question, yes, there are infinite chakras. There are mainly these 13 chakras are there, starting with the heart. That does not mean that Nabhi chakra, Swadhisthana and Muladhara are not worked upon. We do work upon it also. So this 13 plus 3, 16. Now, as far as our work in our system is concerned, primary work of most of our abhyasas, since the level of evolution is already reached the Hridaya chakra, we begin there. And the heart being the main chakra which is connected with rest of the chakras within the body, as well as the subtle body and sukshma bodies beyond in other dimensions. As the heart gets cleaned, those other chakras which are connected, lower and higher, they get cleaned up and charged up. So our main work is on the heart. Now, predominant element in the heart is earth element. That does not mean that Vayu, Akasha, Agni and Jal, they are absent there. They are very much present, but in a lesser amount. And they all form their own chakras. Likewise, on Atma chakra, the main element there is Akasha. And the other elements are also present, but mixed up. Lesser amount, maybe 20%, maybe 30%, maybe 40%. It keeps changing. Up to 10th or 11th point, the sway of Panchabhutas will be there. So if you multiply it until then, it will go on. And at the 13th, there is no influence of all these elements. On the 12th also, some elements are absent. You wait for my book, which is upcoming, on spiritual journey, spiritual yatra. It will be all this will be described very well, and it will be very clear how these 63 points are covered in Sahajmar, starting with the heart. That does not mean we are ignoring the chakras below. We need not worry about them, because that belongs to animal kingdom. Even dog has Muladhara, dog has Swadhisthana, dog has Nabhi chakra. What makes us human is this Hridaya chakra. In some animals also this Hridaya chakra is slightly awakened. but not to the extent of what we have. So we mainly focus on the 63 chakras, and they are visited and revisited many times during our journey. Even though you may have crossed second point, you may have crossed third point, but then again we keep revisiting those points again and again to gain the mastery over them. See? Each time we get the powers, the system itself is so designed that it nullifies the powers, so that we don't become proud in the process and stop our journey. I hope we are clear. Thank you, Mohan.